Hi, everybody. Another USL weekend is in the books, and I'm actually joining you from the Florida room of my house. It's all Florida paraphernalia, if you see like all Florida travel advertisements and such. Because it's Florida Derby week. Yay! Miami FC hosting the Tampa Bay Rowdies at FIU Soccer Stadium on Thursday night. Channel 33 in the Miami Fort Lauderdale market, ESPN Plus in the rest of the country. This is not a CBS game, unfortunately. A lot of excitement about USL on CBS. Big CBS game coming up on Tuesday, which is, of course, CBS Sports Network, this time Louisville and Charleston. Louisville at Charleston. Charleston, the team I picked to win the Eastern Conference. Louisville, the team that appears like they will win the Eastern Conference, right? And Louisville, of course, has been to 9 successive conference finals. So Miami FC has now lost 2 matches in a row by a single goal to very good Eastern Conference opposition. But they've lost those matches, right? 0 points to come out of those 2 matches. I feel like there are a lot of things I didn't like, particularly in the first half of the match in Hartford from Miami FC's standpoint. I've gotten into those in a written article on the Kingfisher. Post-match thoughts. Maybe we'll get to some of those in a minute. From the Tampa Bay side, there's a lot I didn't like in the first half against Pittsburgh. But they survived and they got a point. And this is similar to what happened 2 weeks ago at Wake Med Soccer Park against North Carolina FC. Tampa Bay, second best all night long that night, got a point. Kind of a cheap point on an own goal, but they got a point nonetheless. And yesterday, Pittsburgh huffed and puffed a lot, but the final ball wasn't there. The final product wasn't there. I expected a strong reaction from Pittsburgh. Bob Lilly, one of the best coaches in the business. Pittsburgh has been terrible in their first 3 matches. They were slightly better yesterday, but when it's all said and done, the Rowdies got a point. So the match this week sets up uniquely, I think, from my perspective, because this is a traditional rivalry. This is a rivalry that the Rowdies have dominated recently, right? And most notably, the playoff victory a few years ago in the first round in 2022 or 2022, and obviously last season won both meetings. But Miami FC, of course, has had some great results against Tampa Bay in the past. Most notably, U.S. Open Cup victory in 2017 at Al Lang. This year, it's a completely different contrast in styles. Miami FC under Antonio Nocerino and Nielsen coming into Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay seems to be a work in progress because Leo Fernandez is not completely fit. And he didn't play in Pittsburgh. And my concern is I saw Tampa Bay get overrun in the midfield without Leo Fernandez in there. I didn't see enough control of tempo in the midfield from the Rowdies. But at the same time, the Rowdies' back line is arguably the best in USL. And Forrest Lasso is as good as any center back in the league. We know that. Over the course of many years, he's as good as anyone. And again, was tremendous yesterday, as was the rest of the back line. And Doherty is as good at springing counterattacks and in some set-piece opportunities as anyone. And when you've got Lewis Hilton standing over a dead ball, which we saw again toward the end of the game last night, they're as dangerous as anyone, and they can nick goals, they can score against the run of play. Miami FC, for the first time all season, yesterday against Hartford, dominated possession, but quite frankly, there wasn't enough end product. And in fact, my biggest concern I articulated from that game previous week for Miami FC against Charleston was second balls, which I think is an issue of effort, right? That got cleaned up. So Coach Antonio Nocerino will be pleased about that. But what did not get cleaned up, or what was really striking about the game against Hartford, was when Miami FC gave the ball away in the final third, when they were making the wrong decisions with that final ball, with that final pass, with guys making runs off the ball. Oftentimes, the transition to defense was awful, lost their shape completely. Hartford was able to create numerous 1v1 and 2v2 situations going against the flow of play. Miami FC out of shape, and ultimately, and Miami FC's fullbacks, particularly in the first half, were terrible, quite frankly. So this is going to be an interesting matchup because Miami FC plays up tempo. They're a younger team than they've been in the past. They're very aggressive in attack. They're very good, quick ball movement, quick passing, a lot of good runs off the ball, although we didn't see as many of those in the first half yesterday. But second half, obviously clawed 2 goals back. Came very close to equalizing at the end in stoppage time. Very, very good team going forward. Tampa Bay, maybe the best team at the back in USL, and with Jordan Farr, a veteran goalkeeper. But I had not seen, outside of Cal Jennings, who is quality, has always been quality, much going forward from Tampa Bay. In fact, when Leo Fernandez doesn't play, they have a creativity problem, and I just don't see very much from them. So I think this is going to be a contrast in styles. Tampa Bay will not concede goals easily, but at the same time, I do think Miami FC has a advantage with pace and tempo. So it's going to be a fun week, Florida Derby week.